This is Derek from ClassicGameRoom.com, and this game combines three of the things I've come to appreciate most during my time on this mortal plane: Mario, baseball, and chicks in really high shorts. This is Mario Superstar Baseball for the Nintendo GameCube. Now, I know what you're thinking. Geez, Mario Baseball, Mario Tennis, Mario Soccer, when will it end, Nintendo? Well, here's the thing about that. Especially through the GameCube era, Mario sports games were awesome. A bit overdone, perhaps, but still really fun to play, especially with friends. If it ain't broke, hey, keep throwing Mario into sports games. I mean, who cares? I'd play Mario Hopscotch if it were as much fun as 2005's Mario Superstar Baseball, the last in a long line of Mario Does Everything spin-offs for the GameCube, and the riotous result of mixing the Mushroom Kingdom's favorite characters with America's favorite pastime. Mario Superstar Baseball is, at its simplest explanation, a quintessentially Nintendo interpretation of the greatest sport on Earth. It sheds baseball of its endless minutia to instead provide a much simpler, much faster, arcade-like version of the sport. Now, the rules are basically the same as they've been for the last 100 years or so, although, as one would expect, Mario and friends make a few adjustments which, if implemented to the sport itself, would make Abner Doubleday roll over in his grave. So here's the deal. You'll pretty much play a normal game of baseball, but with minor exceptions like, I don't know, the ball catching fire. Kinda puts the term heater in a whole new light, doesn't it? See, there are 30 Mario characters from which to assemble teams in Mario Superstar Baseball, and a few of the most prominent characters are able to use special powers to really turn the tide of a game. For example, Mario can pitch a blisteringly fast fireball. Peach's throws to the plate disappear in a puff of flower petals, and Bowser actually throws a looping bullet bill to the plate. And these abilities translate to batting, so when Mario hits a ball, it can fly off his bat with the same fiery force as when he throws it, causing obvious problems for fielders. I mean, I've seen past roommates use my baseball glove as an oven mitt, but never when the casserole is on fire. Now, these powers aren't unlimited. They require the use of team stars, which you can earn situationally throughout the game. For example, if Bowser steps to the plate while Mario is pitching, their rivalry might give Mario the opportunity to earn a team star if he's able to strike out his arch-nemesis, who can really hit the ball, by the way. If there's not steroid testing in the Mushroom Kingdom, there really needs to be. But that's part of the game's surprising depth, and I don't mean that it's deep in a detailed baseball sort of way, because it's definitely not. But it features a lot of interesting, almost RPG-like elements which really complement the over-the-top feel of the experience. Each player, for example, has strengths and weaknesses. Now, brutes like Bowser and Donkey Kong have a lot of power at the plate, but they're very slow runners. And the opposite is true of nimble characters like Donkey Kong and Yoshi, while Princess Peach is a picture of a fittingly royal pedigree. The differences between the characters are ample enough to allow you to really create a diverse lineup, and to position players according to their abilities. That's really cool, and it's actually loyal to the sport itself. There's also some interesting intricacies to the play mechanics. Certain characters have a level of chemistry between them, which makes them perform better together. So for example, if you have Donkey Kong playing first base, you might consider putting Diddy Kong at shortstop. Because the two have such great chemistry, special things can happen between the two of them. When fielding grounders, for example, Diddy Kong might throw the ball to first a lot faster if Donkey Kong is playing there, which obviously makes things much more difficult for the opposing team. This chemistry mechanic works perhaps even better at the plate. If Luigi belts a double and he's in scoring position when his brother Mario comes up to the plate, Mario will be much more likely to drive him home thanks to the chemistry between the two of them. It's over-the-top stuff, but it definitely allows for some strategy when building a lineup and positioning your fielders, especially considering that some characters have very poor chemistry, which can adversely affect their performances. Of course, over-the-top stuff is the most obvious facet of this game, as it should be given the characters, and Mario Superstar Baseball strikes a very nice balance between gameplay and gimmicks. In addition to all the bizarre powers some of the characters yield, the baseball fields themselves play a role in the game. Mario's beautiful seaside stadium is the only field where a clean game of baseball can be played. In contrast, piranha plants sprout throughout Yoshi's grassy field and often have a huge impact on the game. They might knock over a fielder who's trying to make an easy play. They might gobble what might have been an easy double and spit it to a waiting outfielder. Giant barrels sporadically roll through the outfield at Donkey Kong Stadium. Giant chain chomps patrol the foul line at Wario's Field. Each of the game's several unique fields poses its own unique problems, which can be unfair at times to say the least, but they're an absolute riot and they really add to the multiplayer especially. And hey, is getting robbed of a rightful base hit any worse than getting slammed in the back with a blue shell in Mario Kart? Life isn't fair in the Mushroom Kingdom, that's just the way it is.